Hi everybody, this is Clay from Cool Stuff. And what I'm going to show you today is how to record from Pro Tools on your favorite DAW application into the Model 12. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that all of your slide switches, your 3-position slide switches, are set for PC for the channels that you want to record. And I'm going to do all 10 channels. And what I'm going to use in Pro Tools, and I'll do a screen capture for this so you don't have to rely on my crappy iPhone video here. But I've got the demo song that comes with Pro Tools. Can't Get Enough is the name of it. And I'll show you in a minute what we've done with that, just so that I can bring it down to 10 channels without losing any of the audio from that, because it's actually more than 10 channels. Well, I'll just give you a little teaser here before. I took the drum bus, 4, 5, 6 channels, and I took the drum signals and put them all into a drum bus so that all my drums are in one channel. That's going to come in on channel 1. So that's the most important thing on the mixer, is make sure that you have those slide switches set for PC in order to do the recording. And I would start out with your headphones low and with your main fader low. I always bring these up to Unity to 0 dB. I want it to come in, at the same signal level that it's recorded in the DAW, as long as I know that it's not gonna, be too loud there. Then I'll bring my fader up, or I'll bring my headphones, depending on what I'm working on. I'll bring that up. And you have 2 headphones on this, so depending on which one you're using, you have 2 controls for the headphone volume. You also have to make sure you're connected properly to the USB. I can't easily get in behind here to show you, but I have my USB connector, which is right here, and that's going into my PC. On one of the USBs. You all know how that works. I'm not going to dwell on that. So I'm gonna switch to my screen share and show you what I did in Pro Tools to make this work. Then we'll play the recording from Pro Tools into here, and we'll watch and see what happens. All right, so here's what we've got. As I had mentioned, this is the demo that comes with Pro Tools, a song called Can't Get Enough. And you want to make sure in setup that you are connected to the ASIO driver for the Model 12. And all the Model series uses the same driver. It's ASIO, it's Model Mixer ASIO driver. And you can set it for whatever sample rate, works best for you here. 512 seems to work fine for me. So you make sure that's set up correctly. You also, I would recommend doing this, because what happens, go to I/O, what happens a lot of times is that you don't see all of your out channels over on, when you go to pick the channels, the out USB channel for each one of your channels on the mixer. I'll show that in a minute. It sounds confusing, I know. So what you want to do is go into this screen and click Default, and then click OK, and it will make those all 10 channels visible for you when you go to pick those. And so here's my mixer view in Pro Tools. You have 2 views. You have your edit view, which is basically your transport, and you can move this transport wherever you want it for the playback and record. But you basically see all your waveforms and the channel names. And the mixer will give you a view like on a mixer. So as I play, you got your faders for each channel, and you can see the levels as you play back. The one thing I added in here is a drum bus. And I'm not going to go through, like many of you might not use Pro Tools, but basically it's an aux channel that can be set up where you can take the output of individual audio tracks and send it to that, like a mix bus, but just for particular instruments. So I've taken all of my drums and I send them to this drum bus. It's just an abbreviation for it. And you can see there's limited controls on the aux type channels. So I then redirected all of my individual drums to go to the drum bus. The input for the drum bus channel is the drum bus. That's an actual bus that I created in the I/O screen. Where do I want it to go out to? Do is go to output 1. Okay, there we go. Sorry for that confusion. So all of these channels output to the drum bus. The input of the actual aux channel for the drum bus takes those drum bus signals and sends them out channel 1. Now, any stereo effects, these are digital drums. You know, you got a left and a right already mixed in. That's the only thing you're going to lose. When they go into channel 1, they're all going to get mixed flat into that. There's no more stereo. But you're not going to notice much, and that's, you know, a trade-off. If I had, like I've got a Model 24 mixer, I could have kept those as stereo tracks. I wouldn't have had to consolidate things like I'm doing here. But with the Model 12, you really only have 10 tracks to work with. All right, so the rest of them I left the same, except that I set the output for each of my channels on the Model 12. So drum bus goes out on 1, so all my consolidated drums are there. Then I've got out 2 for piano. There's 2 different, you know, synths, piano sounds here. So they're going out 2, out 3, out 4. Then we jump over to your lead vocals going out 5. And then you've got some background vocals that go out 6 and 7. And then there's sort of a sound effect here, echo vox or something, or echo voice, I don't know. It could be, yeah, I don't see, I'm looking to see if we got, I don't see anything. So I think that was a pre-recorded audio effect there. That's going out on 8. Then I have 2 more here, and you've got your reverb effect for your vocals, or any of the tracks really, going out 9, and then your delay is going out 10. So when we play this back, we should be able to go over here and look at our meters and see what's going on. So let's give that a try. We won't record yet. Let's just do a dry run and see if we're getting sound over there. And I'm gonna bring up my main. Yep, we got sound. And then what we wanna do is we wanna look at, let's focus here.
Love should take your breath
bring
away.
that down a little bit.
But I get
all right, so you can see I've got signals coming in on each of those channels.
But you're the one I wanna hold.
Let's bring that down so you can hear me.
Cold, I feel it inside.
And now I'm only able to see my first 8 channels, but there's a button here you can press. So select, excuse me, you can see right now, push this button to look at 1 through 8, push this button to look at 9 and 12. And remember, there's not much of signal on 9 and 10 because that's our reverb and our delay signal coming. Here's your main mix. Bring that down just a little bit more. And I always have to refocus this, especially on the screen. All right, so I can see that I'm getting signal. Go back to 1 through 8. Okay, everything looks good there. I think I'm ready to record. So what we're gonna do is we'll go over here and stop this from playing back and kind of reset. And then we wanna go into record mode because we're gonna record to the SD. And I do need a song, you know, already, you know, selected here to record into. And that I have to check. I don't know where I left this. So let's go to menu. Menu again. Song. So use your jog wheel and press it. So I already have a song there. So I'm going to need to do new. And I hope we don't go out of focus too much here. And I'm going to do... you know, that's something I don't know what my project is over here, and I want to match my project if I can. It's not necessary because it's not like you're transferring this digitally. It's going through analog, so you could really pick any. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. I could just say I'm going to go with the best quality. So we'll go back over here. And what we're going to do is use the jog wheel. And every time we turn the jog wheel, it'll change that. I want 48 kilohertz, 24-bit, and then push enter on the jog wheel. Okay, hit OK. All right, I'm going to go exit, exit, and we should be ready to go now. All right, so come back over here. Well, excuse me. Don't forget record. You need to arm the record. And there's one thing I didn't show you, but let me just tell you about it right now. The record level is coming, directly into this. It's not affected by these faders here. It's not affected by these. And maybe I should demo that again just to show you. Let's play that one more time. We're not gonna record. Let's bring this up. Go back to meters. All right, you can see you got signal there on the meters. Notice there's nothing, these aren't going to affect it, these are all off. Now, I can turn all these off and you're going to hear the song disappear, but notice that what you see on the meters is the level coming in from the DAW. And that's what's going to record, that's what's going to print when you record. So this is the master fader, and all of these faders are just so you can monitor it. And it's not going to affect what prints. All right, so let's, we got everything record armed. Let's reset over here. Let's go ahead and press record. And let's get back to menu. All right, it is starting to record. Let's come back over here and let's play it.
Love should take your breath
Our meters.
away, but you, I get lost for days.
And all these went solid, so you know you're recording. And if you didn't see what I did, I just pushed the red button over here to start recording. And it'll immediately start recording if you have tracks armed. Now, I won't make you listen to this whole process. We're going to come back in a second. And you can see, we'll play back from the SD. All right, so I let it play, recorded the whole thing. Now I want to play this back. So first thing I want to do is, I don't want to even risk, accidentally re-recording it. So take your record buttons off. This is probably the most common thing you'll forget, is these slide switches will need to move now. MTR stands for multi-track recorder. We just recorded to our SD card that's in here. So what I've got to do is slide this over because we now want to play back from the MTR. All right, and I'm going to bring my fader down because I, again, just want to make sure we don't blow our ears off here when this starts. It shouldn't be any higher than it was, but just to be sure. And then I want to make sure we're at the beginning of the song, and then push the button. Let's go back to the menu so we can see meter. All right, so, oh, there we go. It was like panicking.
Love should take your breath away, but you, I get lost for days. I can't find the words to say. But you're the one,
each individual track channel now on the SD is recorded. Let's hit 9 and 12. 9 to 12. Yep, that looks the same as what we saw before.
This is everything I dreamed of. A special kind of love. I think about
and now
it every day.
you can adjust the playback. There's our echo and delay. Sounds weird without the other stuff.
I just want to stay a little longer. We were just starting to have fun out here.
Beautiful.
Feeling starting to grow
Okay.
a little stronger.
One other thing here, while we're at it, go ahead and stop the playback so you can hear me. All right, now, that was playing back all the individual channels. And you may have read this, the Tascam Model 12, the reason it's a 12 is there's 2 channels left and right that automatically get recorded for the main mix. Well, how do I hear those? Okay, what you're gonna, and this is another thing that a lot of people miss. They wonder, you know, if I don't want to hear my individual tracks on this song, I just want to hear the main mix that gets recorded. How do I play that back? And there's a button for that. Let me just find it here, right here. Okay, make sure we're focused. So push that button. Now when you play, now you're going to still see these other tracks because it's playing them. It's just you've got them all turned down over here, and you can mute them. You want to make sure you can mute them all. So what it's playing right now is what's there we go. What I did is I used the select button to change what meters I was looking at. Man, that gets loud real quick. So MTR return, it is the meters you want to be on when you're playing back from your multi-track recorder, which is the SD. And select is how you change that. Live input, PC return, MTR return. Okay? All right, so now I think that's enough for this video, but there is one other thing, and maybe you're thinking this too. I think this would make a good follow-up video for this, and that is, do I need to do this to get a song from my DAW into my Model 12? And the answer to that is no. If you have, if it can fit in the 10 channels you have available, there is a way that you can take the stems from your DAW, the individual audio tracks, files, and import them into the 12. And that's what I'm going to show you in the next video. All right, thanks everybody.